Come along folks, as I show you how to create your very own cross stitch placemat and matching coaster set using your very own embroidery machine. Let's get started with the Beehive block. Remember, each block has an optional step at the end to turn into a coaster, so you can choose how you'd like to finish it. First, hoop up your cutaway stabilizer in the hoop and load the design onto your embroidery machine. You'll want to have your applique scissors handy for trimming the batting and fabric. Next, place batting 1 on top of the hoop and then stitch the batting down to secure it. Once that's done, remove the hoop from your machine and trim the batting about 1 to 2 mm from the stitching line. This ensures a clean finish without any excess bulk. Now take fabric A and place it right side up over the batting, making sure it covers the entire area. Then stitch it down to secure it in place. Now it's time for the fun part, folks. Embroidering the beehive. Follow the diagram on your provided instructions to embroider the beehive design. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials just like this one. Once the beehive is complete, move on to embroidering the bees. Finally, embroider the border to frame your beautiful work. If you have chosen to make the placemat, you'll need to remove the block from the hoop now. However, if you are turning this block into a coaster, follow these optional additional steps. Place fabric C, your backing fabric, on top of the hoop with the wrong side facing up, and then stitch it down, making sure to leave an opening for turning the block right side out. After that, remove the block from your hoop and trim the seams to about 1/4 inch. Leaving a 1/2 inch along the opening. And now clip the corners to reduce any bulk. Next, carefully turn the block right sides out. Use a pointy tool like that pink thing or a chopstick to help push out the corners for a crisp finish. Give the block a good press with your iron to smooth it out. Finally, hand stitch or use fabric glue to close the opening. Your coaster is now complete. Remember, if you're making a placemat, after removing the block from the hoop, trim your seams to 1/2 inch and set it aside until all your beautiful blocks are made. If you'd like to continue on creating this beautiful placemat, I'll now show you how to join all the blocks you have just stitched out using your regular sewing machine. First, lay out your blocks on a flat surface and decide on your layout for your placemat. Once you're happy with the arrangement, start by joining the blocks in rows. Place the first 2 blocks right sides together. Next, pin along the right hand side seam, matching up both seams by lining up the corner points. Take your time with this process to ensure accuracy. For more great sew-along designs just like this one, visit swpea.com, where you'll find a wide range of projects I'm sure you're going to love. And then stitch the side seam on your sewing machine. Make sure to stitch just inside the outer border line that is already stitched on the blocks, so that the stitching won't be seen on the right side later. Continue this process until you have joined all the remaining blocks in that row together. Once you have each horizontal row of blocks joined, open out the stitch seams and iron them flat. Now, join the horizontal rows to each other. Place the first 2 rows right sides together. Pin along the bottom seam, aligning the seams as best as you can. Start by pinning the corner points and then work your way along, matching the points where the blocks meet. Stitch the seams on your sewing machine, stitching just inside the border that is already stitched on the blocks, so that the stitching won't be seen on the right side later. Now open the stitch seams and iron them flat. If needed, trim the edges to make them even. This project is part of our July sew-along Facebook group. If you'd like to join our monthly sew-alongs, you can find the link in the description below. We'd love to welcome you into our growing community. Now I'd like to show you how to create the backing binding for your placemat. Start by placing backing binding fabric on your table, with the wrong sides facing up. Then, place your sewn placemat on top of the backing binding fabric, wrong sides together. Pin them securely together. Optionally, you can use temporary adhesive spray to keep them in place. To ensure the layers stay together, we'll use a technique called stitching in the ditch. This method helps keep the seams flat after washing and maintains a neat appearance over time. Stitching in the ditch creates an invisible finish on the front, Make sure the bobbin thread underneath matches the fabric and use invisible thread on top. Trim the excess backing so it extends precisely 1¼ inch, 3 centimeters beyond the placemat. This extra fabric will serve as the binding. Starting on any side, fold the backing fabric in half. And then fold it in half again, ensuring you fold it just over your seam stitching and pin. Continue pinning your binding until you reach your first corner. When you reach a corner, aim for a nice mitered corner. Turn your binding in at the corner and continue folding in the same way as you did for the first side of the binding. You can iron your folds as you go to help achieve crisp mitered corners. Fold a final time and pin the corner in place. Continue pinning all around the placemat. You can start sewing the binding to the placemat from any point, stitching just inside the folded edge of the binding. If you prefer, change your bobbin thread to match your backing fabric. When you reach your first corner, leave your needle down, lift the foot and rotate the placemat. Put the foot down and continue stitching until you have sewn all around the placemat. Finally, press your placemat with your iron. Well done everyone, your placemats should now be complete. Hey there, if you enjoyed this tutorial, you're going to love the next video here. where we create a lighthouse scene hanger in the hoop.